Welcome back to Spotlight on Vegas Business. Before we move into our next segment, I just want to do a follow-on from our previous segment. My wife just texted me. She wants to do a fundraising event for Roos and More.
Oh.
For a paint party fundraising event.
That could be fun. We
Painting, maybe do a painting of an armadillo.
Yeah, some sort of little armadillo or a lemur or something kind of cool. So more information to come from Paint Party Night, looking to sponsor one of our nonprofit segments. So that's really great.
Yeah,
Thank you so much, Heather.
I'm actually going to get hold of Roos and More and see if they're interested in doing something like that.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Heather from paintpartynight.com. And we are going back to business. It can be kind of hard to focus on just a quote-unquote normal business after I have an armadillo in my lap.
That was amazing.
That
armadillo is the sweetest thing I've seen.
It is. But I'm really excited to have our next guest in studio.
Yeah.
We have
Laryssa Slaton.
Laryssa Slaton with Advanced Business Concepts, Inc.
Yes, hello.
Welcome to Spotlight on Vegas Business.
Thank you for having me.
Laryssa is part of our centennial chapter of the lead team. She recently joined about a month ago. Is that correct?
Pretty much.
A month, maybe a little bit more. Welcome. So, tell us a bit about what you do and how you got started and what you do.
Well, Advanced Business Concepts is a little bit of a twist on an accounting company. We do financial and managerial accounting, which is quite a bit different than just a typical CPA type firm. We do more or less performance management type work instead of just your typical, provide a three-statement at the end of the month type of financial statements.
So more than just bookkeeping, that's where the advanced comes in.
Correct. It's we try to combine a lot of different things. Of course, Vegas and Nevada in general is one of the 3 corporate-friendly states. So I try to incorporate that nationwide, of course, to provide a business face front for a lot of different businesses around the nation. So I don't just do business here. I have business all around the nation. So I provide outsourced type business management type services, as well as accounting, bookkeeping, all the way through managerial type of accounting work.
Now you are not a native Nevadan. Can you tell me a little bit about how you ended up here and why?
I was an accountant for a gold mining company for several years, have had a background in financial management through accounts receivable financing, and so I've seen small businesses in so many different aspects, all the way from the smallest type of accounting all the way through publicly traded companies. So I've been in accounting for several years, and out in Albuquerque, New Mexico. And when the economy started to crash, of course, I have two daughters. At that time, they were much younger than they are now, going on 21 and 17 now. But when I moved here 5 years ago, they were just, sprouting into teenageism. So I knew my costs and my budgets were rising, and of course my paycheck wasn't going to go up fast enough. So I decided to take measures into my own hands. I was doing a lot of work for everybody else. I said, might as well get paid for it and do what I feel in my heart is right for small businesses. Really, I just see a vision in really helping small businesses kind of bridge the gap. There's just so many, 565,000 small businesses get started every single year. Only 80% of those see 5 years, and only 90% are. There's an 80% failure rate. Sorry, I said that wrong.
Yeah.
80% failure rate, so only 20% actually see 5 years. Only 10% only see
so tell me how Advanced
years.
Business Concepts can help those 500 and something thousand businesses that are starting be part of the percentages that make it, because sometimes we look at hiring another person as another expense. So tell me what you do in order to help them succeed.
Small businesses, especially in today's economy, they don't want to spend the extra cash and trying to hire, and they just simply don't have the funds to hire the needed expertise or the needed people to help give a lending hand. So first of all, we help by outsourcing. We do small business management training all the way through being a sort of a outsourced business department. we specialize in being a business extension, is what I call it.
Okay.
So we do accounts receivable. We can be a full billing department, completely do all the paper pushing that a small business doesn't like to do. So we like to take a lot of the paperwork and a lot of the stuff that they don't want to do and let them be who they are as a business owner, and let them get back to what, whether it be sales, whether it be, whatever their expertise is. So it takes a lot of the stuff off their plate.
And rather than maybe necessarily hiring someone on as a full-time staff person that you're
Correct.
responsible for their taxes and all that.
Down. They don't have to.
Yeah. How about as an auditor or a balance and checking person for maybe someone who does have an in-house bookkeeper or CPA? Do you ever do any type of auditing services to make sure the employees that they have are doing what they should be doing?
Well, I leave audit work to the full CPA firms.
Okay.
That is typically what a CPA is for.
Okay.
Somebody who has a publicly traded company, or, I like to say anybody that's over, probably over a $5 million company. They need a little bit more expertise, especially when it comes to tax help and whatnot. But I like to provide more of a day-to-day type managerial type numbers.
Okay.
So I take what comes off of those financial things that like a typical CPA would come up with, or off a financial sheet, and I'll put them together in ratios so they'll know exactly what their performances are. What are their collections looking like? What is their accounts receivable turnover, their bills, cash management, more helping in the budgeting side. Mm-hmm. So we do more or less, we take some and draw some of these numbers out, and we make it more manageable. So instead of just looking in a historical perspective like a typical CPA firm would do or provide on the financial sheets, I take these numbers and I roll them into a format, not only in a number format, but I also graphically put it to where somebody can visually see it instead of looking at all the mundane numbers in the rows of things that they don't want to look at all the time. I try to make it a little bit more visually pleasing, so they have a little bit more better management tools, so they know exactly where they're at as a company.
Do you take it away from being intimidating and not understandable and into something that they can really wrap their brain around?
Financial statements are basically utilized for exterior people. For people that like creditors, of course, the managers, they want to see a typical financial statement, the owners or whatnot. But as I said, it's more of a historical perspective. It's what they've already done. It's not something that's driving them forward. So, we can take these numbers and forecast them, make them into what they want to see as a goal. So we can not only look at it from a back perspective and give them a slap on the wrist and say, you need to do better next month, which could be already a month or two down the line by the time they get these figures, but take these figures and just say, hey, you know what, we're doing really well in your cash management. Maybe it's time to step up advertising, which helps you guys out.
Sure, you should advertise on Spotlight on Vegas Business.
But, it really just takes the numbers and makes it a lot less intimidating, because it makes it more useful for them. They understand exactly what the number is for and how they can utilize it in their business, instead of just looking at a blank financial statement and kind of wondering where it actually fits in the whole perspective. So what I do is more for the internal managers, and opposed to what a CPA does, and what they provide on the financial statements is more for external type people, who creditors and investors, stuff like that.
So how small or big of a business can you help?
I can help anyone from a one-man show with an accountability report, is what I've come up with, to help introduce people to the larger world of accounting, all the way up to a $5 million company with a controller for hire type position. So.
Okay.
Glad, because I think it's a very valuable service, because both of us are entrepreneurs and we always get wrapped up in our day-to-day running of the business. that sometimes we neglect to see the bigger picture, which is why somebody like you can be incredibly helpful.
Well, as I worked and I saw a lot of the financials coming in, especially when I worked at the finance company, I just got to see so many different perspectives from a small business, and the same common factor that I saw coming through was the lack of financial planning. You know, they just had there were tax issues that arise out of this, cash flow issues. There's just so many, you know, all of a sudden they can't make payroll, they don't know why, and they're looking at a financial statement and going, well, the numbers are here, but
there's just all these fires to put out,
exactly.
And it's emergencies.
You know, we're trying to, you know, just like I kind of make the example of a car and a check engine light. If you don't even have a check engine light, how do you even know something's wrong with your vehicle? So that's kind of what managerial accounting does, is it puts things back into perspective. So when your check engine light starts coming on, you can fix the problem before it becomes too late or becomes too much of a problem.
Totaled.
Exactly, and a lot of that time, that's when you start seeing a lot of businesses.
I like the comparison.
They go bankrupt.
It is. It is. So if you are listening out there and that thought resonates with you, that you don't even know where your check engine light would be on your business, then it sounds like you would be well served to contact Laryssa Slaton with Advanced Business Concepts, Inc. Laryssa, how does one do that? Contact you.
I do have a phone number. Also, I have an email. It's it's abbreviated for my business name, ADV, as in Victor, BIZ, concepts.com, or my telephone number is 702-927-1840.
Perfect.
Or you can visit at the Centennial chapter every Friday morning.
Absolutely. So check out the leadteam.com. Laryssa Slaton with Advanced Business Concepts is a member of the Lead Team Centennial chapter. So you can actually go to the leadteam.com, click on chapters, click on Centennial, and there will be Laryssa, her contact information, her phone number, all of that good stuff. Or just come and have breakfast with Laryssa and set up
for me too.
Yeah, set up an appointment over coffee to have another coffee. All right, perfect. So Laryssa with Advanced Business Concepts, Inc., thank you so much for coming in and sharing information about bettering small businesses out there, making sure that that those small fires are put out before the whole thing burns down to the ground. Alrighty, so we are about to go to break. This is Nicole along with my co-host Mark. This is Spotlight on Vegas Business, your Power Business Lunch every Monday from noon to 2 here on KSHP. We will be back in 2.